Hello, you're tuning in the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Châu Nguyễn, and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. Social housing development policies discussed. Strengthening military-civilian solidarity on remote islands. Hanoi among top 15 most popular cities for tourists. On the afternoon of May the 29th, the National Assembly, under the chair of Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, voted to pass the resolution on piloting specific mechanisms and policies for social housing development. General Secretary Tô Lâm attended the working session. With 96.44% of votes in favor, the National Assembly approved the resolution of the National Assembly on piloting specific mechanisms and policies for social housing development. The resolution added regulations and conditions for enjoying social housing support policies for those affected by the reorganization and rearrangement of administrative units, including enterprises, state agencies, political organizations, social-political organizations renting social houses for their cadres, civil servant, public employees, and workers. The resolution takes effect from June the 1st, but the contents assigned to the government for detailed regulations will take effect from July the 1st, with the pilot period being 5 years. On the morning of the same day, at the meeting with Nasser bin Suleiman Al Hati, Deputy President of the Oman Investment Authority, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính proposed Oman raise the scale of the Vietnam-Oman Investment Fund to $1 billion. Welcoming the OIA Deputy President and the working delegation to Vietnam, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính expressed his delight at the positive results of cooperation between Vietnam and Oman, underlining that there remains considerable room for expanding bilateral collaboration. The Prime Minister noted that at the recent second ASEAN Gulf Cooperation Council Summit, he met and exchanged views with the GCC Secretary General and leaders of the Gulf nations. Both sides highly agreed to promptly start negotiations on a Vietnam-GCC Free Trade Agreement, study investment protection agreements, and promote cooperation in different fields, such as digital transformation, renewable energy, financial centers, green economy, high-tech agriculture, and halal food. The Vietnamese leader acknowledged and highly valued the pioneering, effective, and strategic role of the Vietnam-Oman Investment Fund during more than 17 years of operations in Vietnam. He proposed Oman expand and raise the scale of the fund to $1 billion to better support Vietnam's investment and development needs, in line with its economic scale and with interest rates suitable to Vietnam's condition. Prime Minister Chính suggested the fund not only support and invest in strategic fields such as infrastructure transport, clean water, renewable energy, healthcare, education, and consumer finance, but also participate in supports Vietnam's private economic development, as well as agriculture and the halal food sector. He expressed confidence that with strategic partners like Oman, the two countries will build a deeper, more effective, and sustainable cooperation relationship. Agreeing with the Prime Minister's Phạm Minh Chính proposal, especially on raising the VOI scale, Suleiman Al Houthi said Oman can become a gateway for Vietnam to penetrate the Middle East market. The OIA commits itself to further strengthening cooperation with Vietnamese partners, ready to play a bridging role in promoting economic and investment cooperation between the two countries, encouraging more Oman and Middle Eastern enterprises to explore cooperation opportunities in Vietnam, as well as calling on Vietnamese businesses to leverage Oman's port system to boost exports to the Middle East region. Also on May the 29th in Hanoi, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired the monthly briefing conference of May 2025 of the Ministry of National Defense. In May, the Standing Board of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense leadership directed the military to strictly maintain combat readiness, accurately forecast situations, proactively advise and handle them effectively, and firmly protect territorial sovereignty. They researched and reported to the Politburo on continuing to streamline local military organizations to be compact and strong. The military performed well in political education, thoroughly studied and implemented the Central Party and Military Commission's resolutions, directives, and regulations. Activities commemorated the 135th anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh's birthday, summarized 10 years of implementing Directive No. 5, organized party congresses, developed science, technology, and digital transformation, ranking first in the government's online public service index. Nearly 9,000 troops and militiamen with over 360 vehicles were mobilized for disaster prevention and rescue. Discipline was maintained and strong exemplary units were built. General Fan Vanzang requested the military continue strict combat readiness, submit to the National Assembly the bill on United Nations peacekeeping forces participation and amendments to 11 military-related laws, and review the bill on emergency situations to ensure progress and quality. Agencies will inspect military and defense tasks and rearrange local military organizations under the two-level local government system, complete organizational charts, regulations on functions, tasks, and relations of newly established units, proactively inform and guide public opinions, ensure strict, lawful preparation for party congresses of units under the Central Military Commission. He emphasized urgency and responsibility in reorganizing the local military structure, implementing solutions to improve training and exercises, organizing the parade and marching training for the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day, ensuring quality with new features, flexibly deploying defense diplomacy, enhancing logistics, technical and defense industry work, and promoting science, technology, and digital transformation.
Following his visit to Kazakhstan, Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam, Deputy Minister of National Defense, led a delegation to Turkey from May 28th to the 30th.
On May 28th, Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam held talks with Turkish Deputy Minister of National Defense, Alparslan Kavaglioglu, expressing satisfaction with the overall progress in bilateral ties, particularly between the two defense ministries. Turkey's Deputy Defense Minister affirmed Turkey's readiness to strengthen cooperation in defense industry in line with each side's needs and capacities. He also expressed hope that Vietnam would support Turkey's engagement in ASEAN cooperation mechanisms. Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam emphasized that the visit aims to implement areas of cooperation agreed upon by senior leaders of both countries, moving towards a comprehensive partnership between Vietnam and Turkey in the near future. He agreed on the need to promote delegation exchanges, especially at the high level, and proposed working toward the signing of a defense cooperation agreement. In a separate meeting with President of the Turkish Defense Industry Agency, Haluk Gurgun, Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam praised Turkey's defense industry advancements and encouraged enterprises from both sides to continue exploring suitable cooperation opportunities. Mr. Gurgun affirmed that partnering with Vietnam is a priority in Turkey's Asia-focused policy.
On the morning of May 29th, the Indian Navy ship INS Dakshak docked at Ho Chi Minh City Port, beginning a 3-day visit. The visit of INS Dakshak aims to further deepen the cooperation, mutual understanding, and trust between the two armed forces in general and the two navies in particular. During the visit, the ship's officers will lay a wreath at the President Ho Chi Minh Statue Park and pay courtesy calls on leaders of the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee, Military Region 7, and Naval Region 2. The Indian crew will also host visiting Vietnamese delegations aboard the ship, engage in sports exchanges with officers and soldiers from Naval Region 2, and explore local Vietnamese culture. During the voyage to the Trường Sa or Spratly Islands in May, the working delegation number 16 visited the troops and locals on the archipelago and DK-1 platforms, bringing meaningful gifts to the officers, soldiers, and locals, further strengthening the military-civilian bond.
These gifts, carrying deep affection, trust, and pride from the mainland, were delivered to the nation's front line. At each stop, the the delegation presented hundreds of gift packages, essentials, medicine, school supplies, and household items to those living under challenging conditions. More than material aid, they conveyed sincere care and solidarity with the distant island troops. Whenever delegations visit, we're always happy, eager, and make thorough preparations to welcome them. At each island, the atmosphere grew warmer and livelier through cultural exchanges. Songs about Trường Sa, the homeland and island soldiers echoed over the waves, uplifting spirit and reinforcing ties between the military and civilians, mainland and islands. This is my first time and proudest moment performing on Trường Sa. I truly cherish this experience. Under the theme Proud of Our Homeland, we visited 6 islands and 1 DK1 platform. Delegates witnessed great changes, making us proud of the resilient people and outposts that firmly stand at the nation's forefront. Such heartfelt missions from mainland to islands help spread patriotism and civic responsibility. Gifts not only represent support for hardship, but a source of strength for those guarding the national sovereignty.
Coming up next, Vietnam-Italy workshop on semiconductor and AI cooperation opens. Hanoi among top 15 most popular cities for tourists. On May the 29th, a workshop on cooperation in developing the semiconductor and artificial intelligence industries between Vietnam and Italy took place in Hanoi. The event was jointly organized by the National Innovation Center under the Ministry of Planning and Investment, the Italian Embassy in Vietnam, and the European Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, aiming to promote strategic collaboration between the two countries in these high-tech sectors.
The forum centered around 4 main pillars: developing core industrial policies, building autonomous technology supply chains, advancing public-private partnerships in research, training, and commercialization, and facilitating business-to-business connections. With its robust innovation ecosystem in Europe, Italy is regarded as a strategic partner that can help Vietnam access cutting-edge technology, train high-quality human resources, and integrate deeper into global value chains. Through investment networking activities, the forum provided a platform for Vietnamese and Italian enterprises to explore effective cooperation in technology transfer and talent development, laying the groundwork for national innovation and enhancing Vietnam's presence in the global semiconductor, AI, and strategic tech industries.
The 1,000-year-old capital city of Hanoi continues to affirm its great appeal on the international tourism map when listed in the world's top 15 most popular cities for tourists by Time Out magazine, UK. This is not only a proof for the attractiveness of the city, but also a golden opportunity to tell the image of the country and people of Vietnam to global tourists.
According to Time Out, Hanoi ranked the 11th among the world's 15 most popular cities for tourists. The list highlights a shift in global travel preferences to rich cultural heritage, historical landmarks, and distinctive cuisine. Hanoi is home to such special cultural heritage sites as Thăng Long Imperial Citadel, Temple of Literature, or Hanoi Old Quarter, where the soul of the capital is preserved. Hanoi also attracts tourists with its rich cuisine imbued with the Vietnamese spirit. Famous dishes such as beef pho, vermicelli with grilled pork, lavant fish bowls, or tenchi rice rolls not only satisfy domestic diners, but are also highly appreciated by international chefs and food critics.
And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch news again at QPVN.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.